Welcome to another episode of
Tell You First. So Haresh, today is a very special episode of Tell You First because in the studio we have someone that, you know, is inextricably linked to the National Day Parade. Right?
Yeah.
And I've been like fretting about how to introduce him because he's a multi-hyphenate.
He's like Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah, I don't know how to put him in a box because he's a singer-songwriter, he's a writer, director, he's really funny, so comedian as well.
Fitspo,
you know, yeah, you should really...
Everyone has seen his muscle ups.
See the videos of it, right, all over the internet, In my mind, he is the most genetically gifted Singaporean of all time. Right? So, please welcome to the Tell You First studio, Mr. Benjamin Kheng. So the first question I want to ask,
the worst thing ever, guys. Thank you.
Ben Kheng, is there anything that you're not good at? Because all I know is like, wow, he can do everything
you just said. I am pretty ass.
No, and
to be
everyone
very
we
honest.
meet, the first thing is say, oh, he's such a nice guy.
Yeah. Nice
And
guy.
it's true, lah. It's true, lah. I'm sure that
I'm
took
here
a
to
lot out of you.
disprove everything you just said.
Yeah.
No, but the truth is, you know, everyone knows you were one of the founding members of the popular pop quartet Sam Willows.
Wow.
Right? From many years ago. You have a successful solo music career and you've done television, you've been part of comedy groups, you know, you've done spoken word. What else has Ben done that has impressed you over the years?
You don't need to go.
Grown like his social media everywhere, collaborated with overseas musicians.
I played a terrorist for this bunch of
You
YouTubers.
played the head of a terrorist organization for our
did. Fictitiously.
TV series.
Yeah.
Series.
One of my favorite moments ever. I still have clips of that.
Yeah. We do have them, and I do revisit them time to time because they're so amazing. To see that,
Well, I'm getting my hair
costume.
pulled.
Yeah. But also, like a lot of people know you, young and old. They know you as the singer-songwriter of the National Day song "Not Alone," right, from 2024, and also having seen you perform even as recently as 2025's National Day Parade as well, right? And also directing a parade segment, a video in the parade segment, right?
Will this guy just stop?
Well, that's why I said I agonized about it because it would take almost a whole podcast to talk about your achievements.
We don't have to.
Right?
No.
Yeah. No, but I mean, maybe we just start from the basics. Like when we say a National Day song, what is a National Day song? Like how do you explain to someone who has never been to Singapore, doesn't understand what Singapore is? What is a National Day song?
NDP is a weird thing, you know. I feel like when you ask Singaporeans to describe it, it's a mix of like cringe, or like, oh my god, here it's the same thing again. And then there's also a sense of, but no one can shit on it but me, you know, like because it's my shit.
Yeah.
And we approach it with a sense of like a fondness, you know, and nostalgia, and sometimes even emotion.
Yeah.
As imperfect as this place is, it's kind of ours, and it's kind of beautiful, and that's what we're celebrating. I think it's hard not to. I don't know, like sit in the stands and just listen to people sing along to the songs or see the colors and not feel something. I think it's very human to just even feel, as imperfect as this place is and all its quirks. There's something quite special about that day.
Yeah. But for you, Haresh, like, you know, I've just noticed that Ben, he has successfully avoided using the P word, propaganda, when talking about National Day songs.
There are other P words you can use. Patriotism, PP.
Populism.
But for you, Haresh, like when if you have to explain National Day song to someone who's not from Singapore, what would you be saying?
I would say that every year we celebrate our independence because we are a young country. We want to we want to recognize where we came from, and the icing on the cake is always the NDP song.
Yeah.
And there are a few legendary songs that everyone knows, but every year there's a new song.
Yeah.
And it's almost the leaderboard continues to grow, but the top few, hard to dethrone them.
It's like FIFA, the games. It just keeps coming. RIP to FIFA, the game. But, you know, like
every new
2K,
edition,
there's always a new,
Yeah. But I mean, so that's what people have defined NDP songs as. Like Prof. Bernard Tan, who was chairman of the Sing Singapore committee back then. He said it's a decades-long effort to create national songs that can be sung communally, that represent the nation apart from the national anthem. And, you know, music scholar Dr. Eugene Daryanathan also said, every NDP song is a diary entry in the life of a nation.
I forgot to mention that it also reminds me a bit of North Korea.
Okay, the propaganda aspect, right? Yeah.
So like everybody singing in unison.
It's called communal singing, Haresh.
Doing
not
the same
necessarily.
actions. Thousands of people on the same day. They rehearse. Don't know how many months for the whole year.
Yeah.
So
I want to just clip that and then fast forward 5 years to you hosting the National Day Parade and making everyone do that. And I'm going to post that reel. Mark my words.
That's
5
actually
years
a possibility.
I'm going to manifest that. But this exact moment you said that, I'm going to put
Korea
it.
moment. Yeah.
No, I mean, besides that.
Okay, we all talk about NDP and we really kind of know what it is. We know how to explain to people. But there was a time when there was no such thing as a National Day song, right? There was a time, pun intended.
Oh, really? There was a time?
Yeah, there was a time when there was no such thing as NDP or even National Day songs.
Okay, yeah. But the moment NDP started, did they come with a song?
Yeah, so we'll get to that. But what do you think people were singing before National Day songs started getting written? What kind of childhood songs?
Bunga Sayang 20 times in a row.
Oh, yes.
I mean, we had the greats. We had P. Ramlee, who was running a lot of... we had P. Ramlee was directing a lot of films.
Yeah.
Zubair Syed, who then, wrote a lot of cultural folk songs.
Yeah.
And some of it eventually became, classics that we still sing today.
Yeah.
Bunga Sayangs and all that.
I can name some as well. Muneru Valiba,
yeah.
1966, Move Forward Youth. That's
Singapore Town.
Singapore Town?
My favorite, one of my favorites, yeah.
Do you know where Singapore Town was from? The origins of it?
Oh, yeah. My grandfather wrote I am not, wait, was it, can I guess? Do you actually have the stat?
Not the stat, but just a little story about it.
Oh, was it like where Gable was, like beach? No, like Geylang.
Oh, you're talking about where? What they
no, it wasn't an
about.
actual road. No, it wasn't an actual road.
I mean, they sing about the landmarks in Singapore.
Yeah.
But the song itself was actually adapted from another song called Colombo Town.
No.
And then amended the lyrics to Singapore Town.
No.
Yeah.
Ben's world just imploding.
So, I mean, what I'm trying to paint here is that before the 70s, like even for NDP and all, Ben is shaking the table. Yeah, he's going to crash out.
Table. He wants to flip.
No, yeah.
Crashing out. But yeah, before the 70s, actually the NDP parades, the parades themselves didn't have songs per se.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because do you all know why? Like, what were the themes of the NDPs in the 60s that didn't need a song? Like, can you guess what the theme of say 1966 NDP was?
Survive.
It was, well, here we are. It was,
Here we are.
Yeah, I guess we're alone.
Okay, 1966, it was National Pride and Confidence.
I love that.
1967, Rugged and Vigorous Singapore.
Yeah, I've been described as that before.
1968, Youth and Ruggedness. 69, Youth and Discipline. 1970, Work for Security and Prosperity.
Not the easiest lyrics, to be fair.
These are not easy lyrics to create for, right?
And very functional.
Very functional.
Let's get Sugar Shade, try it. Put it in a rap.
Yeah, so before like NDP songs per se, people are listening to folk songs like Muneru Valiba, Semoga Bahagia, Dayung Sampan, Chan Mali Chan and all. And a lot of these songs were adopted from other cultures for Singapore's purpose.
Yeah, so I need to correct myself. Bunga Sayang was not written by Zubair Syed. It was Semoga Bahagia that he wrote. Yeah.
Yeah, you know Semoga Bahagia, Haresh?
I think I do.
Maju ke hadapan.
That's why we have a genetically gifted person here.
I took Malay for 12 years. Yeah.
Those are accurate lyrics.
Yeah, Semoga Bahagia is something happy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. If I were to just correct you, may you achieve happiness.
May you achieve happiness.
Yeah.
It's a kid's song.
I got half right. Yeah.
It's a Children's Day song that I think they've been singing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they're still singing now, but yeah, those were the folk songs that we listened to.
Great songs.
But why do you think in the 70s, why were there efforts to start creating songs for Singapore?
Because Dick Lee was almost ready to write his
This was 70s.
Fried Rice Paradise. Yeah, he wrote Life Story in 77, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a good question. I don't know.
You didn't have to do a deep. There was no NDP.
Back when I was in
you had to
77.
take. No, like when you got the.
You mean like a basic driving test?
Yeah, exactly. They don't make you do that.
No, maybe they should.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know why. Yeah, why?
Okay, I mean, in the 70s, they started songwriting competitions.
I see.
In 1975, they launched a national songwriting competition.
Radio Fusion, like the radio station.
No, it's just the National Theatre Trust in Radio and Television Singapore.
Cool.
So they got 8 songs chosen out of 51 entries. In 1979, they invited 7 composers and 6 poets to write Singapore songs. So there were multiple songwriting competitions trying to, find markers of Singapore identity. So how many of those songs that I mentioned earlier, how many of those songs created in the 70s do you think we still sing today at National Day parades?
Yeah, we just sang, we sing Bunga Sayang quite a bit. I think Iman sang that in 2021. We sing I don't know. There's Matthew and the Mandarins who wrote Singapore Cowboy, and we sung that last year.
No, I mean,
it's a great song.
I think music history in Singapore is a very interesting topic. That it could be its own whole.
Yeah, we've had quite a bit. But that's a way to tell me to shut the hell up. No. Yeah, it's a whole other topic.
I was going to say. By the way, shut up. Yeah. I mean, why do you think those songs haven't lasted till today's national day?
You mean like the songs like
those created in the songwriting competitions in the 70s?
Because they were not.
Okay, I mean that's the correct answer. Basically, in the Straits Times, one of the judges was quoted saying they were good slogans but not good lyrics. So you must think about Singapore back then in the 70s. We were more focused on productivity and all. We're not so much about songwriting and all the creative pursuits, right?
Yeah.
So they were good slogans.
But here's a question. I mean, maybe we touched on it earlier, but why do you think we even need Singapore songs at all? Why do you think the Ministry of Culture back then thought, okay, we need Singapore songs? Because we'd been existing 10 years without it. Why do we suddenly need Singapore songs in the 70s?
You're asking me?
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, I in conversation with, people of other nations, folk songs are huge, right? I mean, not even talking about like Maori culture and hakas or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I got to speak to a couple of my Filipino friends and they have folk songs that are not just folk, but humorous and kind of dirty. And they all know it and they all sing it and they all dance to it at karaoke.
Yeah.
And these are unofficial songs, but they are known as Filipino songs. There's a song called Jumbo Hot Dog, Kaya Mobato, which is, you can guess what it basically insinuates. But I mean, this is part of their lexicon, it's part of their culture, and everyone knows it. And it's so amazing that these things came out of just organically being a community.
But did they share the origins of that song, like how that song came about?
I don't profess to know, but like I just think it's great that like it was unforced.
And when you watch them perform it, like, is there a sense of camaraderie and everything?
I mean, it's a silly song lah. There's a dance and everything,
but they love it, right?
And they don't take themselves seriously. Unlike some countries.
So I mean, that's a very poetic approach. For me, it's a bit more cynical in the sense that as now as you get older, where you start to appreciate birthday parties a bit more, that it's a reason for people to come together.
Yeah.
The one thing about singing a birthday song, even if everybody hates it, is a one time that night that everybody comes together. La.
Yeah.
Even when some people are like damn happy. But I think like I can imagine the orchestrators of the first few NDPs were like, okay, there's a lot of stuff happening, but we need one thing to bring everybody together, whether they like it or not.
I mean, have you...
Birthday songs play that role?
Yeah.
We need an NDP
song. 100%.
That's true.
Have you thought about the power of even like nostalgia in relation to how we come together communally to sing songs? Or even think about like why we all profess that the Star Wars prequels are the best, even though they probably weren't. It's because we kind of grew up with them, right? Even though they had so many issues and potholes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Now we regard them as, we enshrine them, right? And we crap on the new ones.
Yeah.
In the same way, like even now Backstreet Boys or Spice Girls,
correct,
even if they were kind of hot back then, now they're completely enshrined for us millennials. And I feel the same way for like the older NDP songs, not just Home, like all your 80s songs, 80s, 90s songs, right? They're kind of enshrined in this part of your brain.
Correct.
But I'll be honest, like when I do listen to some of them, I do feel for more of them than others, because I feel like some of the lyrics are very heavy-handed and teaching you how to feel. Like exactly what you said, they're slogans instead of like
lyrics.
Helping you, I guess, seeing yourself in these songs, which are what the modern songs are trying to achieve, right? Or modern
like Stand Up
songwriting.
for Singapore, is it very instructional?
Stand Up for Singapore is a difficult one for me, because I'm not going to spoken word it right now. I feel pretty confronted. Smile!
Yeah.
Make a stand,
Stand up.
Be prepared to give. But there's some,
best.
counter me. But there's bits of beauty in them, obviously, and they were written amazingly. But they were not all written by Singaporeans.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, there's more to get to. Sure.
But like we're just talking about why we need Singapore songs. I think Ben was talking about the romantic reason, like camaraderie. You were a bit more cynical about it, right? Like you just forced people to come together.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a much more practical reason. Is that the Ministry of Culture saw that whenever Singaporean delegates went to international events and were asked to sing a Singapore song, all they could sing were either the national anthem or the song Singapura, who was actually a Dutch-Indonesian singer who sang this folk song called Singapura, and they just adapted
No
it for the
way.
Singaporean delegations.
Oh.
So there was nothing for them to sing. So
While
they had
eating
to create
Singapore
something.
noodle.
Yeah, exactly. Singapore noodles and then like getting caned by the Singapore cane. So yeah, they decided, okay, that's we need to change that. We need to have some Singapore songs.
Amazing.
And then the 1980s rolled around, which a lot of people, musicians, will recall as like the golden era for NDP songs, right?
Yeah.
And it coincided with the NDP, the National Day Parade itself, taking a more populist approach. Some of the statistics is like the Red Lions started performing as part of the NDP. There were big displays of people dancing, and it became a cultural event, right? NDP. And it was said that even LKY, Lee Kuan Yew himself, noticed that he saw kids not singing songs together at campfires, and he was like, why is it like this, And he felt like that needed a change. But particularly in 1984, there was a specific urgency to create a Singapore song. Why do you think that was so harsh?
I was born.
Sure, make it all about yourself. Make it all about yourself.
It's a core memory, yeah.
1984 thing. Like, why?
The 1984 novel came out.
1984 novel.
I don't think it came out in 1984.
No, yeah. I mean, it was leading up to the 20th anniversary of Singapore's founding.
We love our decades. We love our decades, yeah.
Not that difficult.
How else would we know we've survived if not for our decades? Yeah.
So we were talking about Stand Up for Singapore. So what actually happened was the Ministry of Communications and Information put out a tender for ad agencies to actually create a Singapore song.
Yeah.
And McCann Erickson actually won the tender, and they created Stand Up for Singapore, which became the NDP theme song for 1984. Yeah.
So, I mean, that was 1985 would have been SG20 lah.
Correct. But they just, there needs to be some runtime, right? People don't just learn the song overnight. They need some time to learn it.
So an agency got it?
An agency.
That was a tender?
Yeah. So it was like dispel all the romantic notions that it was written by someone who loved Singapore. It was a tender agent.
There was a creative brief, probably.
There was a brief, yeah. And then 2 years later, in 1986, another song was also through the same process, tender and everything, came out. It was called Count on Me Singapore.
Yeah.
Very functional.
Was Count on Me not written by Clement Chow?
No, it was
Jeremy.
written. In fact, all the three big NDP songs from that period were written by Harrison.
Harrison. Harrison Ford. Yes.
No, not Harrison Ford. Hugh Harrison.
Kid. You
he was not even Singaporean lah. So that's an interesting nugget that we can get to.
How interesting?
Yeah,
are you up for it?
Okay, but think of Count on Me Singapore. Count on Me Singapore. You guys know the lyrics well and everything lah.
Yes.
Why do you think Count on Me Singapore was especially poignant? Given what was going on back then in 1985, 86.
Count on Me Singapore.
You think about the lyrics, we have a vision for tomorrow, just believe.
People were not believing. We weren't doing our part. We weren't standing together heart to heart.
We were not believing fully.
We weren't showing
just
you what Singapore can be.
Yeah. So you can tell that the songs coming out also needed to fulfill a very specific criteria.
Interesting, yeah.
And in 1987...
Stop at 2, everybody!
Yeah. In 1987, the third song from Harrison, We Are Singapore, was released as well.
But I mean, you can understand if you're writing a song, We Are Singapore, telling the citizens of Singapore that we are all part of Singapore, but
written by
a non-Singaporean. Yeah. But the rest of us, we are all Singapore.
Yeah. So maybe it should be You Are Singapore.
Yeah.
But
you are Singapore.
But how does it make you feel as a local, or at least like homebred musician? Like if you hear
Let me check. Oh, I wasn't born. I have no stake in this race.
That's true.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't think, maybe the sentiment was different then, but I think it's obviously way more special if this sentiment was written by a Singaporean. Because as a songwriter, you need to instill, I always believe you need to instill some nugget of truth. Even if you're writing a freaking jingle for an e-commerce website or whatever, maybe then that's a different story.
Yeah.
But if you want people to feel something, it has to come from a real place, a place that came from you. And I think the moment you try to write from an external perspective, you could if it's a group of writers, but you can always tell when it's just like stand-up comedy. You can tell when someone's reading someone else's joke versus like I have tried and tested this set and bombed for a whole year, but this is my world.
You think it'll take away from an NDP song even in this day and age if it was written by a non-Singaporean?
Let's say Lady Gaga was commissioned.
Yeah,
no, to be fair,
it's a damn good song.
Yeah.
No, okay. So again, the writer doesn't have to be the singer, but they have. I feel, especially when it comes to sentiments of this steak, and you're singing about truths that everyone has to resonate with, it has to come from a real place.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, like, people are smart enough, the world is wide enough, the internet has been invented for long enough that people can sniff out like the inauthenticity, you know? Unless it's like a Friday kind of song, where, you know, it's just like a, what does the fox say or something, you know, then whatever.
Song. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a parody song. But if it has to come from a real place, it has to come from a place of sacrifice or personal feeling or something. Yeah.
How about you, Haresh? Would you accept if like Bruno Mars was commissioned to write an NDP song?
I don't think so.
Don't think so.
It just won't sit. It just won't sit the same way. I mean, even if it's a banger of a song, I'll probably sing it while frowning, you know, like because I mean, I think what Ben said, he put it a lot more eloquently. But yeah, there needs to be some element. And I mean, you know, the World Cup just ended.
Yeah.
I was quite surprised to hear that there has never been a country that won the World Cup without a coach of the same nationality.
Oh, I see.
There's never. That's why if Tuchel won it with England, he would have been the first.
But Tuchel's German, right?
Yeah, so he would have been the first person of a different nationality than the team you're coaching winning the World Cup.
Okay.
I mean, that's just a digression, but I think for NDP, even though it's very easy to hate on NDP songs and all, just do it, having someone of non-Singapore origin write it, sing it, would just give another reason to be like, yeah, this one got point, meh.
Yeah.
For you?
Yeah, I think I can understand why it took almost 2 decades before they revealed who actually sang the song, who actually created the song, right?
It was 2 decades?
It was almost 2 decades,
Wow,
yeah. That's how long they kept it under wraps. But yeah, I think today, you know, as a country, we're also much more confident to just embrace, you know, who we are and the challenges that we are facing. And just have our own artists do it. I think that's important.
Yeah.
But you know, the interesting thing is that after this whole barrage of new National Day songs that came out, after that was a little bit, people describe it as a little bit of a drought because they actually spend more time trying to get the community to actually learn and sing these songs. So there actually weren't that many new songs that came out during the 90s, from 91 to 98, right?
Okay.
I mean, Ben, you know, I'm sure you have a lot of experience in this. How difficult is it to, you know, just get a whole bunch of strangers in a room together and just to be able to sing a song together and not, you know, screw it up?
It's impossible. No, I mean, we've done it. I mean, we have a little community choir as well, right?
Yeah, and what's it called? Like
Sing-Song Social Club.
Sing-Song Social Club. Yeah,
but that's obviously different because we have willing, active participants who are there to sing and relive their choir trauma as a kid, right? But then, and again, with NDP songs today, they're really much part of the academics in school. So, you know, when I got to the parade, every kid knew my song, aka it was force-fed to them. They had to learn it, you know. And then the parents had to listen to it because the kids had to learn it, you know. Yeah. So I think that's different. But again, maybe the handbook wasn't completely written in the 90s, right? Yeah. So they were experimenting with how do we do this organically? How do we make people, you know, not just do this out of obligation, right?
Correct.
Yeah, but actually like these songs.
Yeah. So they had singing competitions. They released songbooks. They had cassette tapes that were sent out to people. And for 1990, the 25th anniversary of Singapore's independence, they commissioned a new national song called One People, One Nation, One Singapore.
I don't really remember it being like forced down our throats in schools.
Do you remember when you learned the alphabet?
Just force-fed down to you in school. It was.
But you know, you do writing exercises, and I can imagine parents saying, "Oh, A, B, C, D."
It was a sleeper Asian, and he read to you the words.
Yeah, that's right.
One people, one nation.
No, but it just comes so like it's so primal. I think that's the thing about those songs.
And do you know who wrote and composed One People, One Nation, One Singapore?
No idea.
Okay, Jeremy Montero, Singapore composer. You know, he composed it, but the lyrics were actually written by an Australian, Jim Atchison. Does the name sound familiar, Haresh? Jim
Atchison.
Yeah. We actually covered it in this same season of Tell You First as well.
No.
He was actually the author of the series of books called Sarong Party Girl.
Oh,
and subsequently,
my God.
his pen name is James Lee of the Mr. Midnight series.
Maybe that's why he's saying every creed and every race.
Yeah. So
has its place.
But you can't deny that although he's a foreigner, he knows Singapore pretty well, or he knew Singapore pretty well. Right?
He knows it better than I do, to be fair.
So there's a little fun fact for you there. But yeah, in 1998, something happened, you know, seismic in the creation of
National
Day
was not
songs.
Contrary to popular belief, an NDP song.
Yeah, and this song that we're talking about, what is it, Ben?
I mean, it is the song, of course, that every other National Day song henceforth gets compared to, which is Home.
Yes.
But I haven't noticed only because we are all in the orbit of
Home.
Mr. Richard Lee, Dick Lee.
Yeah.
So it was written as it was a contest song, right? He wrote it for another purpose.
I think Sing Singapore again was looking for a National Day song.
And he wrote it while he was in Hong Kong.
In Hong Kong, that's right. And he had been away. Dick Lee had been away from Singapore for 7 years.
Yes, he was making it big.
Homesick, and he was asked to write a song. And he actually didn't come up with the concept of home immediately. In fact, what he had was a melody with no lyrics. And then later he incorporated the theme of the Singapore River into his song, right? So, we all love Home today.
Yeah.
I think Haresh, you like it as well, right?
Yeah.
And you, I'm sure you.
I've sung it once or twice,
Yeah, once or twice, I'm sure. We'll get to that. But before it was actually released to the public, there were actually concerns that Singapore would not accept the song. Why do you think so?
Because it's a slow song.
And what's wrong with a slow song compared to?
It's not rousing.
Yeah.
I get roused by slow songs. Do you get roused?
Yeah, of course.
Show me a roused face.
Morning.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
No,
Why'd you greet me at the door with that face? Sorry.
Well, but I remember we were talking about how all the previous songs, Stand Up for Singapore, Count on Me Singapore and all, were so rousing and just like instructions on how to live your life. Well, Home was much more introspective.
Of course,
and people said it was kind of too emotional, too morose and not.
Did people
upbeat,
say that at the start?
There were concerns. So like even
of course.
Prof Bernard Tan, who was, the Sing Singapore committee chairman, he had to arrange it and then present it to the committee, and he wasn't 100% sure of the response. But also, Kit Chan, the singer who was selected, also said that the stars aligned in terms of what happened in the rest of the world. The stars aligned for the resonance that Home found. What do you think was going on in the region or around the world that made it feel like, okay, a more chill emo song would work better this year?
Was it another recession?
Yes, Asian financial crisis,
Asian financial
1997. Not only, but this
It's a
time,
tiny little detail.
not only Asian financial crisis. Remember the Silk Air crash from back in the 90s?
Oh.
So there was a mood that let's
Somber
not be too
mood.
upbeat in Singapore for this NDP.
That's very interesting, and I'm gonna jump off that point maybe later on. But like very often, and even in my other years where I was not creating the song, there was always a conversation with somebody who was like, maybe this year we don't go too happy because of situations, and this is an official conversation. So maybe I don't know, maybe it was maybe it was presidents from back then as well. And how successful Home was because it matched the sentiment of the time. We realized that there was power in meeting people where they're at, which is really what music should be. So I mean, that's a universal truth that I think still rings true.
The singer producer Clement Chow himself said, it's it really depends on the mood of the nation at that point in time, and the lyric writer, what he's dealing with or he or she's dealing with.
But conversely, it could work too. I feel like I wouldn't crap on the idea that something contrasting could really lift people up.
And there have been many covers along the years, and one of the most beloved covers that has over 500,000 views on YouTube since it was released 12 years ago is the National Day cover of Home by the Sam Willows and Josh Wei.
That one really butchered that song, huh?
I know, it was
just
can you talk a little bit about
destroyed it?
It was. I was just listening to it again yesterday. I think you've heard it before, right?
Yeah.
It's a much more folksy take of.
Well,
Home,
we were
right?
quite folksy back then with our stomp claps and acoustic guitars and bass and all that.
So I encourage anyone who hasn't seen it to check it out on YouTube. But like back then, what was the process of okay, we want to cover this beloved song, and how do we put a different spin on it? What are you all thinking?
Yeah, obviously, we're doing the folk thing. We're very acoustic guitar based. We had a stick back then, which was like we would do a lot of YouTube covers, and every time we do one, we would mess it up. We would do it in a different way, whether it was a time signature thing or a genre thing or a presentational thing. So for Home, I was like, let's make it. I mean, in musical term, it's called 6/8, the time signature. So instead of this is home, it was a so it's more of like this sort of like almost like an Irish kind of little, I don't know. And so Josh coming in with the violin kind of made sense, and I think it brought a different sentiment. But also interestingly, that was kind of our ticket into NDP, we eventually got the invite to perform that year in SG50.
And you say it's because of the cover.
Yeah, because our lovely Mr. Lee Hsien Loong reposted it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What was was it exciting just seeing?
It was like, what is this? No, I'm kidding. I didn't know what his caption was, but it was very kind of him. And then I think that caught the eye of Dick at the time, who was the creative director for SG50. So we opened the show. We started the broadcast with our version of Home, and then all the ministers walk out while we were doing our folky little home cover.
And that year was where was the NDP?
That year was Padang, and it was JJ Lin's Our home, our heart, our Singapore. Our Singapore, I think,
That's right, yeah.
I know too much of the
No, I mean, I have a whole list of
4.
every NDP song there. But, at this point, I think, 1998 was that point when people realized, hey, a Singaporean singer-songwriter can create a song that really resonates. And maybe we should try doing that every year. So
that's when
it
started.
Yeah, that's when it really started where, there was almost a song every year, different styles, different genres. And most importantly, it was Singaporeans writing and singing the songs.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Tanya Chua, JJ Lin, Stephanie Sun.
Yep.
At this point, I think, because there's so many songs we can't go through all, but I do want to ask you what were your favorite? What is your favorite
NDP
NDP
song?
song?
Ranking? No, we're doing the top 3 or
okay, let's start, Haresh. Like, what is your favorite NDP song?
The reaction again, the frown.
I would say Home.
Home, okay.
Home.
But aside from the the anthems from back then, like after that, like
what was the one 2023?
2023. Yeah, Shine Your Light.
No, 22.
You think about Road Ahead 2021.
The Road Ahead.
Stronger Together. 21 was the Road Ahead.
The Road Ahead.
Okay, so the Road Ahead.
And I mean, I'm not saying this only because you're here. I would say I like your song, man. No, I think
I think Ben was just waiting.
No. I think what changed it for me. What changed it for me was last year during the parade, like seeing the performance live of you singing. That was like, that was cool.
Yeah,
and much easier to look at than hear. And that's not saying much.
So I mean, but the old ones, as much as like Count on Me Singapore is very like forceful.
Yeah,
there's a certain thing that I feel when I sing it. So I would rank that also pretty highly.
Okay. I know for Ben, I think you've gone on record to say that actually one of your favorite songs is Corinne May's Song for Singapore, right? And
love Corinne.
And why is it that resonated with you so much?
Again, it's a weird. I don't know. I don't want to sound like a douchey musician, but it's such a musically beautiful and smart song. It's just it has chords in there that are so bittersweet. It's almost like heavy, emotional, sad, but lifting. It's a song and her voice is just incredible. And it's just a very, I don't know, it's a song that makes you feel, it feels like it's hugging you, which is kind of what I took to when I got the chance to write my own, which is I really thought about how that song made me feel. It's just a gorgeous song. Yeah, it's really a gorgeous song. But second place, a close second, is my NDP Awakening, which is my P5 year, which is Tanya Chua, where I belong.
Chua. Yeah, that's a classic as well.
And I saw Tanya on that stage, and I think little Premi 5 me.
Yeah. Did you believe that one day you'd be in her position?
No, of course not.
Like, I want to be there next time.
I was just like, she's so pretty.
Terence, you?
For me, yeah. So actually, one of the most maybe not, I wouldn't say favorite musically or anything, but definitely the most memorable for me was What Do You See by Electrico in 2009.
Love that one. Yeah.
Because I think if you think about the 2000s back then, an indie rock band actually coming to the forefront at NDP. And, where they were creating a song that was not as easy to sing to. It wasn't an anthem or anything. It wasn't a ballad.
Yeah.
It was sounded like something you'd hear on the radio, like a Coldplay song or something, right?
Yeah.
And, it was a bit polarizing in the sense that some people didn't like it. But I thought, this is an interesting direction it was going in. And, I mean, what was different about What Do You See from, the repertoire songs that you saw before?
It's exactly what you said. And obviously, like, at the time, I was a radio DJ on a now defunct station called Lush, RIP. And then we got to interview Dave, who, again, is a hero of mine. And Electrical were really, they are, the Coldplay of Singapore.
Yeah.
At least, back then, that was the sentiment. And so to see them up there, you're like, yeah, this is correct. And then they had a kick-ass music video.
Yeah.
And I just remember, like, yeah, a lot of the comments going, what the hell is this? What is this? You know, it's unsingable. It's not an NTP kind of flavor.
Yeah.
But at the time, it had oscillated between stuff that was really daring and then stuff that I felt was just very kind of cookie cutter. I'm not going to name songs, but it didn't move me. Sure. And obviously, as a guitar guy, I was like straight away, I love this straight away. Yeah. And then to hear kids sing it, I was like, yeah, see, it still works. Yeah.
Do you remember the song? What do you see, Haresh?
No.
I mean, one of the interesting things about the song is that it was one of the few National Day songs that did not have the word Singapore at all in its lyrics. At that point in time. Yeah, at that point in time. So that's a big step, away from...
That was what year?
2009, yeah. And if you think about the title, What Do You See? It's less of a statement on like what is Singapore is fantastic. It's more like it's asking you, inviting you to think about what
it's
do
one
you
of those
see for Singapore?
oral tests in school.
What do you see?
Yeah.
Primary 5 oral exam.
有一个女孩子在巴士站
To translate what he said, it's for a girl that is at a bus stop.
No, you know when you have to describe the picture, it's like a Chinese oral competition.
I know.
So
What do you see?
But going back to the thing way back when you said that Home wasn't originally an NDP song. So how did it then get co-opted? Like, was it popular at the moment?
It was as in there was no lyrics to the melody yet. Dick Lee just wrote the melody. He did not have the lyrics of like Home or the Singapore River.
And that was what was released first, the melody?
No. That was what went to Prof. Bernard Tan, who was the chairman of the Singapore committee.
Okay.
And then they sort of massaged it and it created
so it's still it was
NDP,
released to the public at NDP.
It's a National Day song,
Okay.
But again, 2009, what was going around in the rest of the world that a song about, what do you see for the future of Singapore?
Oh my gosh.
What do you think was going on in the rest of the world?
It's history test,
Financial crisis again.
Exactly, 2007, global financial crisis. So the idea of asking Singaporeans to think about what do you see for the future of Singapore? What does it mean to be entrepreneurial, to fit into the global economy? That was important, right? But yeah, 2009, big year, and then a lot of changes in how NDP songs were perceived. And then it brings us to the modern day period, and I think about post-pandemic as like a whole chapter in itself, right? Post-pandemic NDP songs, of which not alone. 2024 was a big thing. Can you just talk a little bit about, as much as you can, about what is it like being approached to do a National Day song? Like, how does it for lay people like us? How does it work? Like, do they just like call you up, and then how do you feel after that?
I always kind of maintain that I would love to get a stab at writing the song. Only because, I would like to really, really feel what I have to sing, and I think I don't have like a Nathan Artono or Cesare voice. I have whatever my voice is, and I kind of know how to write around the parameters of what I can do. But Bang Wenfu, who was the music director of that year, I had long admired him. He's done scores for theatre shows since the dawn of time in Singapore. He was also my band's first producer ever for our EP in 2012.
Wow. Okay.
It was a crazy move because we're like an indie band and he's like a, strings, orchestral, classical arranger. He did a bit of indie as well. And so we took a stab at him. It was quite fun. And so we've stayed in touch ever since. He's like a mentor of mine. Really kind of eccentric dude, but just a genius. And so he approached me to take a stab at it. Okay. And I think because I had many years of gestation of like, okay, what would I want to say or how it would feel, it was way less painful than I thought it would be, for me at least. Yeah, I kind of had a roadmap.
Were you nervous or like the weight of the responsibility?
Yeah, you just have to write the song that works for every freaking person in the country, right? Yeah.
How does it feel like you're carrying that on your shoulders for at least?
And
you can't think about
no AI
that.
back then.
Yeah, no AI.
Yeah, there's no AI kids. Yeah, no prompt, right?
Yeah.
Because the theme was together as one united people. And I'm like, wow, how do you massage that theme into a song?
To be honest, that was not communicated to me at the start. What was told to me, thankfully, was the theme was people.
People.
And immediately I was like, I got it. Like, I totally understood. Because I think I was feeling very, at that point, disconnected with not just my career, but communities. I wasn't really attached to a specific community. I felt quite like alone in many, many senses of the word, But then I immediately thought of, again, home and the Singapore River and like this idea of it being a watering hole back in the day where, you know, people from different cultures and creeds, ages, you know, financial brackets, whatever, come down to the river and just do life, you know, whether they're feasting or communing. And that, you know, this idea of this Singapore utopia, that which, you know, pragmatically can't really exist at the Singapore River itself now. But to think of this Singapore River that has lasted through generations and has served that purpose, you know, was so achingly beautiful that I long for those days again, you know. And so that became the sort of the core basis and the idea in which like the rest of the song came out. And actually as well, like to what you said, like me feeling a bit of a disconnect to the older songs, I decided to sort of write that into the verses of the song, where I'm like electrical asking questions of like how do I reach for the skies? How do I stand when I don't want to stand?
So the introspection is in the lyrics.
So so you're connecting a question to not an answer, but to then the journey, right? Because then I come to the river and I see my brothers and sisters and all that, and then realize that the power is in really like moving together and looking to each other. So that was kind of the spirit behind the idea of the song.
So in the spirit of what we were discussing earlier, was it a deliberate decision not to say the word Singapore?
It was not. No, I was very ready to try and chuck it in there somehow. But again, I don't know. Like, okay, I must admit also, like one of my big references was what some Australians, I can't believe I'm saying this, but what some Australians would call their National Day song. Although it's not, they would never have an official National Day song.
Yeah.
And it's a song by one of their domestic artists, legend, called John Farnham. And it's called You're the Voice. And it's this big 80s stadium rock song that like you cannot not sing along. It was built for like this rousing feeling, you know?
Yeah.
And like for Aussies who are, you know, notoriously independent of mind and everything, like this is their NDP song, this is their uniting song, and you know they sing it at bars and when they're
it doesn't mention Australia anywhere.
Of course it doesn't mention Australia, but that effect, and the lyrics are beautiful. It's like we're all someone's daughter, someone's son, how long can we look at each other down the barrel of a gun? You're the voice, try to understand it, and then basically like empowering the people in a not so ham-fisted way. And it was so powerful, and the song is so epic, and it's got this like stadium rock kind of feel, stuff I grew up with, you know.
It's a bit like the recent World Cup, like Country Road was like unofficially the US national team song. Like every time the national team came out, they would play Country Road. People would sing.
And I mean for England was
Oasis,
Wonderwall, and Hey Jude.
So I think you don't need to actually mention the country in there, right? For you, do you like it? Do you prefer that Singapore is mentioned or not?
No. I prefer subtle. It's like branded content, you know. I'm just saying, like when you mention the client in branded content, you know, explicitly, it's like, okay, like you know, it's a client thing. Whereas the more subtle kind of.
But I mean, again, as a branding choice, that makes sense, right? If you're commissioning a jingle to be written, I get it. I get it, of course. The more recognition. 100%. Yeah. But when it comes to
feeling, right?
Yeah.
You want people to feel.
And you have to feel. If you want people to sing, you have to make them feel.
And I had to verify this, but actually I realized that actually since post-pandemic, since 2021, no NDP songs have actually the word Singapore in their lyrics.
Even this year?
Can I ask also why you feel, or you guys feel that's such a point of contention, whether a song has the word Singapore or not?
Well, because people, the older generation like me and up, I think they feel like, if you want to sing it at the NDP, parade, it's got to be something that's, easy to sing along to, that, kids at 5 years old, they can, Singapore, I'm just going to say that.
Okay.
Whereas it's a bit more challenging if it's like, whether it's electrical song or anything, where if the word Singapore's not there, there's nothing to anchor onto during a big communal singing session.
Right.
So some people might take it that way, right?
Yeah. I think for me, it's a reminder that, you are supposed to sing this.
So again, it's a tricky thing where you want to say so much, right? There's all this stuff that you want to say because you love your country. You desperately love it, and we love it. That's why we want to force change. We want to be changed. We want to see change happen, and then to try and fit all these feelings and anecdotes into 3.5 minutes is frightening. You know, you have to triage, you have to pick and choose, but that's a good problem to have, I think.
But Haresh, you mentioned "Not Alone" is one of your favorite NDP songs also, right? Like, what about it speaks to you?
spot check.
So mine is very, very superficial in the sense that
You read the 10 years
Because you don't have to
series
sing, because I
already.
didn't say Singapore, right? So you don't have to sing.
No, it's just the feeling I get. Because even when I listen to any song, I don't pay the most attention to the lyrics.
Sure,
and
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
admit
yeah.
that. It's just the
of course.
feeling I get when listening to the song. And I mean, to me, that's the biggest thing. Like, there's a time and space for something that's slower and all, but something that builds, you just have that a bit more of a spark inside.
I love a song that builds,
Yeah, so I liked it about that. Because I mean, I know you listen to lyrics of songs you decipher.
Yeah, I decipher.
For me, I'm very simple man. I just listen, I'm like, oh, nice tune, melody. I feel shook inside.
I got
And
a theory.
like the song.
I got a theory why it feels.
We don't need to hear that. We don't need
No,
to
I got a theory for why it feels shook for people like you and me, our age specifically. And I want to ask Ben Kheng since we have him
The
now.
answer is
right?
yes, whatever it is.
A lot of people online and some influencers have pointed out the opening chorus of Not Alone is very similar in the melody to the beginning verse of the Backstreet Boys Shape of My Heart. Right? Was it a deliberate decision to do something that would appeal to old
Nothing is
fogies like
original
us?
anymore, guys. No, I to be very honest, I did not draw that illusion until someone pointed out, and I was like, oh.
But it really like
It happens. It
messes-
happens
yeah.
sometimes with creators where you are so influenced by something,
that you feel that you
yeah,
put
but
into
I
it,
didn't even know I was referencing it, and I don't think I intentionally did. You know,
Like all of us don't know you're referencing it also, but you're just like, oh, the song is great.
It reminds you of a moment in your life when you were listening to Backstreet Boys.
One thing Evan, who co-wrote the song, who arranged it with me, and I deliberately did, is we wanted Phil Collins drums. You know, when he goes,
Oh yeah.
and we wanted like big ass drums before the second chorus hit. So we have those in there.
So the boomers and Gen Xers definitely feel
Boom,
that.
boom.
Like the people
Yeah, we
listening
had
to this
some-
and like, who is Phil Collins? What are you talking
Lily
about?
Collins' dad, right? Oh my god, Uncle Collins.
Uncle Collins.
But I mean, like, sonically, he was one of the biggest influences on me growing up, right? The Tarzan soundtrack and all that kind of stuff. And so, like, that's such a sonic reference and palette for me. And a lot of things I do. Yeah.
And I mean, some people online also pointed out your attire in the music video. It was described as, I quote, hipster PAP attire. It was basically
Which is like what you're wearing now. You know?
the white shirt and everything. But okay, this one is like a proper button-down shirt. But in the video,
My
you see,
manager told me to wear white, okay? Well, that's it. Joe!
but I think it fit the mood of what the video was, like the colors and everything.
I didn't style that.
Yeah, sure.
Max, who designed it. yeah, sure.
It's not. I mean, it's a compliment. It's hipster.
Yeah, I think YOLO had to correct the shirt buttons. Of course, it was in the video. It was so funny. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, but I was going to say, I think Not Alone has become beloved by, a lot of, not only young people, but, one of the most interesting remixes or what I see on the internet is something that with 44,000 views. There's a buses and trains edition of Not Alone, where these bus and train enthus have cut up videos of showing all the different buses that run in Singapore.
That's why I made the song,
of
man.
Not Alone.
Yeah.
So that even the buses, you're never alone.
Have you seen that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's been sent to me. Yeah. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Whatever makes people,
I mean, what do you
go
feel?
viral.
But what do you feel like you hope the legacy of the song is like? If you do you hope that more people cover it? Or do you want to be the guy to perform it?
Oh
every
no,
year,
no. There's this thing that a lot of artists say where it's like, okay, the song is yours. When it's release day, it's like the song is now yours. And I always found that to be quite funny because who else is going to sing it but you? But in this case, it's really true. I cannot lay claim to this song because technically I don't even own it, partially. But the fact is that like ever since it came out, I've never had an experience like that where a song of mine is so insanely covered or taken apart or done in their own way. And then getting videos from kids as young as like 7 or even younger singing it, it's so crazy.
But
yeah.
Go on.
No, that's all.
But as a musician, like how does that feel where you say you never had a song be covered that much, right? The song that did get covered that much is an NDP song as opposed to one of your organic creations.
Yeah, so it's a weird feeling, I have to admit. And it isn't really, I don't know. I think it's something that all musicians in Singapore kind of go. I think there's a period where they'll fight it. And then they'll see the impact that it's made on specific artists who have gone through the system, who have, I guess, done it right, and then they go, and they cannot deny the cultural impact it has. And of course, every artist wants to sort of speak to their people. Our biggest challenge is really reaching Singaporeans because it's easy to develop like to grow and to develop interest overseas. You know, with Singaporeans, it's extra tough.
Yeah.
Except for NDP.
Correct.
You know, so I think it's bittersweet. I would love to see obviously more recognition for our artists outside of NDP, but just like pop music, I think it's a great stepping stone. And I think the more I wouldn't say don't fight it, but see it for what it is, and really try to give a good creative offering. I think it works both ways. Yeah, and I think I mean, just to your point just now, talking about. I would look at the evolution of the songs and how it's changed shape in terms of not just like this music, but like you said, the intent. Let's say putting the word Singapore in the song to not doing it, or when it's very rousing and the P word to now where it's very introspective. And I think modern songs have gotten some critique about being too like emotional, or now it's like, oh, it doesn't feel like an NDP song. But literally when I was a kid, when I was like in my teens or my young adults, the sentiment was the opposite. It's like, we cannot deal with any more big P songs. We cannot be yelled at with how to feel. We need to be met where we're at. We need to be spoken to because we are not sure of the future. And stop telling us that everything is only going to go as far as we can push, you know, and then we have to do it. Like, tell me that we're going to be okay. And that we're going to be together, you know, before you then push me to do stuff. So then I feel like this hive mind of writers then went back to go, no, we need to get down to this level first and really write songs that spoke to people that way, you know, from an emotional, appealing standpoint. And more of a pop song. I guess pop songs are the way to do that, right? Because they're most the cultural language. So I think looking at that, there was that movement into writing more sentimental or more universal songs. And then now, interestingly, I don't know, all this TikTok stuff has been fed to me, but like now people are like, no, where's the Singapore word? Where are the trumpets? Where's the big brass, you know? And it's like nostalgia. The prequels were the best Star Wars again, you know? So it's interesting to see the cycle of culture come back again. Right? I don't know.
It's definitely a cycle.
I mean, it's like a lot of cultural trends, like, you know, they ebb and flow, they swing retro, modern.
Exactly.
Retro,
it's like Jason Bourne and the Bourne identity today would be like, it's too much, you know. The way Superman was the Zack Snyder one? The Superman film? Man of Steel. The way it was shot, right? Dark and gritty and all that.
And the latest one is like
and then the latest one is like
campy,
it's camp, but it works for the time. And that's why I really honestly, I wouldn't say I dislike it. I don't engage when people like try to say, oh, this song is better than this song in NDP, you know, echelon. Like, because I think it just served its time. And every school is a good school.
So
and every NDP song is a good song.
When Terence asked you which are your top 3 songs, you felt offended.
Super.
But he has gone on paper. He has put it down in black and white.
No, I mean, you can indicate your favorites, but I wouldn't go and say like, oh, this song is better than this song. You know, and I've seen a lot of people do that. And I just deeply disagree.
And sorry.
No, I mean, so I mean, like you mentioned that the impact it can have on you as a singer, right? Singing NDP. But are there any other perks? Like, do you get more CDC vouchers or like are you added to a WhatsApp group of NDPs?
I can't walk past a primary school without covering my face, lah.
Oh,
Wow.
No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. There is a low level of anxiety of like, you know, not being my best when there are some primary school kids around, because, you know, they would kind of recognize me.
You can never be alone in primary school.
That was a general thing for most
what I
adults.
wish for.
Yeah. For most adults who don't know the kids.
But
stop loitering.
I think just to your point, I think one quote that I got from Prof. Bernard Tan, who was the chairman of the Sing Singapore committee, was that it is not easy to compose a song that reflects the mood of a nation and musically appeals to the majority of the population.
It's hard.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, now that the dust has settled, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much of that do you think you've achieved with Not Alone?
6, 7. It varies, man. I think I knew that I would never hit the jackpot of like pleasing everybody, and there's no freaking way you can do that, right? I think Lin Ying came very, very close with Road Ahead. I think it's a fantastic song, you know. And I can speak the same for every other song that's come, that I can see what it's trying to do. Like some songs that like might not resonate with me, I know for kids, you know, and the kids sing it so loud at NDPs. But I gave it my best shot. I really did. I wanted it to be a song that was simple enough, and I guess my goal is to always be that bridge, you know, to like be palatable enough that people can go, okay, it's bearable. Here are some other options as I delve deeper into whatever it is I'm giving, you know. And I think to be that gateway is kind of my cross to carry in a sense. Yeah, so I think even down to like choosing the right key that like Evan and I talked extensively over what's the easiest melody. I came to Evan with a melody that I thought was super catchy. That was my first few drafts, and he was like, "It's not catchy enough." I was like, "Are you kidding me? What the heck?" We spent like half a day in the studio just banging out like option after option. Then finally we're like, okay, this is, and that was a Backstreet Boys option. But there were many other iterations that I was like, oh, I really like this, but this is something I would sing in my concert. Definitely not, you know, the Kopitiam Ama and the 9 to 7 civil servant and the primary 5 kid can sing, and that you know, to find the ikigai of all those. Yeah. I think that's the fun challenge, you know.
But if you look back at you know, basically what the song has been for the last few years, what is the one moment that you really, you know, you loved and you just remember as the best moment of this song's life?
I think it's okay. Obviously, the easy answer is every time during the parade when you hear them yell, like it's an out of body experience to hear your song being sung at you. Like even just a week ago when they played Not Alone at the stadium and you hear like 50,000 people singing it, like yelling it at you. I was like, oh my gosh, this is what Justin Bieber feels like. But also, I mean, like you don't have a stake in it because it's no longer your song. It's just something that you birthed and now has taken, you know, a life of its own. And the great honor is to create something that's bigger than you. I think that's quite special. But to be very honest, I think it was like seeing my sister at the parade when I invited her and she was singing along to it too, and I was like, it was so moving in a sense for me to see her sing it as well. And then getting to do it last year again with more people this time, so I wasn't alone. Those are some great moments.
Wow, that's so like wonderful for you to say, because if I was in your shoes and Terence asked me a question, I'd be like, I feel like I'm king. All right, all these are my worshippers. You
are never king in Singapore. You very quickly are shot down, put in your place.
But for you, it's like so much soul in it. I was like, if I was, I'll be standing up and this is my song. You know.
But what has surprised you about talking to Ben about the creation of the song? Like, if anything, on the whole process of creating an NDP song,
I think just how, because my thought always was like, how would a musician feel having an NDP song be like the thing that everybody remembers, And I think what you shared was very, how you say, mature, in the sense that it has its role, its place. The goal of every artist is to touch people's hearts. If you can do it through an NDP song, is that bad? And a song that is loved not because like it's telling you how to love Singapore, but people genuinely love it.
I think that's why also the stake was, I probably have to sing this song for the rest of my life at certain points. I better freaking like it. Could you imagine if I detested it every time I had to sing it, So at the very least, if no one liked it, I have to dig it. And thankfully we do. So every time we get to play it, Evan and I, it's always such a joy to play it.
But I would say, just kind of wrapping up as well, is that, it's congratulations, because you have something that will live beyond you. It will have a legacy.
I don't know, when we get to 100 songs, will my song be remembered? I don't know. We are...
There's a whole generation of kids that growing up singing it,
It's true, yeah.
That's true.
Like Count on Me Singapore, I don't even remember when I learned it, but it's ingrained in my mind.
You didn't even know who wrote it.
You just started counting.
That's right.
I don't know, as we get older, you kind of think of like, okay, what will live beyond me on this earth? And you have something that is out there already.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, it is lovely. It is also very not my baby anymore, as I said, so I can't really claim too much credit for it anymore. It was fun to be a part of it, for sure. I think. Yeah.
But that's the beauty of creating NDP song, and also...
It's such a weird thing too, Sorry, I'm just trying to wrap my head around this idea of...
This idea of what, your legacy or...
The legacy.
And just NDP in general. It's great. Anyway, sorry.
No, I mean, that's why I thought it's, it's amazing to see it through the lens of the person who created the song, right? As opposed to just thinking about the parade itself. Just a very quiet moment of how you struggle to, put yourself and a whole country into a song.
Yeah, I think as millennials too, just to put us all in a age group category right now for the audience, we're a cynical bunch lah. You know, we've been through many things. We've seen many cultures change. We've seen many global events happen. We've seen different people rise up and fall, and it's very easy to choose cynicism and like, you know. And so I feel like any chance to try and be self-aware is we always take it, right? Whenever we're creating stuff, even all the work you guys have done, there's always this level of self-awareness and everything, yeah. So to come to NDP, which is so overtly just like love, you know, or like patriotism, is so challenging that you have the only way option is to be vulnerable and to be real. You know, that's the only way I feel like you can live with it. If you're not taking the piss out of it, which we do to survive. Yeah.
So yeah, Haresh, good lesson there. That don't be as cynical as you are. You know, like
don't be
No, I think I finally found one thing that Ben has failed to do.
Oh yes,
is to disprove all the things we said about you at the start.
Stop it lah.
No, it's true. Like all your answers, I'm like,
wow,
this is
it's a press conference.
I mean, it's so like full marks. Full marks.
Come into your house.
Authentic. Based.
You want authenticity, you want humility, you want vulnerability.
No.
Ben Kheng has it all.
No. Let me show you the demons. Let me show you.
But yeah, you know, this very, very interesting deep dive into NDP songs, specifically Not Alone. And thanks, Ben, for coming by to share everything with us.
Of course. Legitimately, okay, question. If you guys were put to task to write either an NDP song or to creative direct or to host, would you do it?
I mean, yesterday I was just asked like by some, a foreigner who was trying to understand what NDP was about. They asked, do you love Singapore? And I just said, yeah. Absolutely. I love it so much that I criticize it every day, but it's because I love it, that's why I criticize it. So yeah, like, it would have...
I'll shit on Singapore, but no one else can shit on it.
Exactly.
You know?
No one else
my country
it's
shit
my
on.
shit.
So, yeah, absolutely, man. Like I would never shit. I mean, NDP, obviously we have our thoughts about it and all, but it doesn't mean that we don't want it around and all.
I would say yes as well. Cynically, I would say yes. But because like what you said, you bring some part of you to it and you try and make a ripple of a change.
Wow. Now that you say it, it sounds so... I'm never gonna say it again.
People can change.
I'm never gonna say it again. Oh my God.
I just tainted the word for you.
The whole lyric, the whole song.
I've never felt like so analyzed as with NDP. Like whenever you talk about it to other Singaporeans, like the views are so varied.
Yeah.
Like even after parties of this is NDP, everyone has a different opinion of it. Everybody liked a different part of it and disliked a different part of it. And that just told me that everyone has a stake in it. Everyone feels like they have a share in this.
I think the litmus test is to ask Singaporeans, would you prefer if there's no NDP or...
some would say yes, I'm sure,
Actually, I would say as much as I'm cynical about the NDP, like if you take away the NDP, it feels like we will lose something. Maybe just one thing less to complain about.
Where's my fun bag? Where's my free tissue?
What can we criticize? What can we make fun of?
Yeah. We all need that in our lives.
Exactly.
That's something that we can really, anchor on and just... put our cynicism there, but also our hope for the future.
It's just one big Asian family, talking shit of each other.
But yeah, that was our episode about NDP songs, and thanks again to Ben Kheng for coming on. And if you just remember, you heard it first on Tell You First. Tell You First is produced by Ministry of Funny and brought to you by Mediacorp. This episode was hosted and produced by Terence, Chia and Haresh Tilani and featured Ben Kheng. Sound engineering by Tristen, Yeak. The production manager is Peck. Special thanks to Koordi from Mediacorp. And if you're a fan of our work, you can follow the podcast on the meLISTEN app, Spotify or Apple Podcasts. We have new episodes every Tuesday. You can watch our guest episodes on meLISTEN, meWatch and the Mediacorp Entertainment channel on YouTube. Links to these will be in the episode description. Plus, catch Tell You First shorts on meWatch and meLISTEN and on Mediacorp's socials. Thank you for listening and see you on the next episode of Tell You First.